The information shared is for educational purposes only. Before taking any action, please seek the advice of a financial or tax professional. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this special needs life planning walkthrough of the Montana ABLE website. Here we are at savewithable.com/MT for Montana. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of spend some time checking out this website, looking at their resources, and we're not necessarily going to do a deep dive into the ABLE program and the benefits of it. For that, you can look at the link right below this video to sign up for a free webinar to learn more about ABLE accounts. And this is more for the residents of Montana or for individuals that are considering Montana as a possible place to put their 529A ABLE account money. We are not going to get through every part of the website. We are going to jump around. When it comes down to the details of an ABLE account, we're probably going to skip over most of it. We're looking for what makes Montana different, the fees, how things are set up. And that was it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, comment below. We really do our best to try to respond to as many of the individuals that comment. You could send us an email to info@specialneedslifeplanning.com. Before we officially begin, wanted to just make sure that before you take any action, please seek the advice of a financial professional. It's important to know what benefit an ABLE account can have for you, how to manage an ABLE account, and how to maintain that account going forward. Okay, so the first thing you see when you come to this site is you see a pop-up box informing you of some changes that impact the ABLE accounts. These changes came about December 22nd, 2017, when President Trump signed he signed things into law. This has to do with the tax reform bill. One of the reforms that involve the 529 program actually impacts both the 529 college savings program as well as the 529A ABLE account. So what happens is, let's say you have an individual who's been saving money for his child or for the grandchild and putting money away, and all of a sudden they realize that this money they gave the different grandchildren or their first child the funds they needed for college, and they have a significant amount of money left, and the next child who could potentially benefit is a child or an individual, an adult, a young adult with special needs that is eligible for an ABLE account, and but wouldn't necessarily benefit from having a 529 college account. So what this change allows is for families to roll the 529 college money into the 529A funds. So that is a really awesome change, and there's some other changes we're not going to get into now, again, because we're not going through all the details of the ABLE program. We're here on the Montana website. I like their color here. They're keeping it simple. They're letting you know where to log in if you already have an account, how to contact them, what the investment options are, and what are the plan benefits. That's it. Good. I like this. Giving those with disabilities the ability to save. New Montana ABLE helps individuals save while preserving their SSI and Medicaid benefits. Okay, we're going to go down, check out, they have forms that we'll check out. And then you scroll all the way down on the homepage and you see a whole list of links: private policy, plan disclosure, business continuity plan. Montana is part of the National Able Alliance. They are a member of this alliance, and just something to note. So let's go into Save Smart. Okay. Helping to make life better. Okay, let's check out the plan highlights. So now this is going to be something that it's important to mention. Although you're going to see that the balance for the Montana Able account is significant. I don't know what it is offhand because I'm going through this with you with fresh eyes. Other programs have $400,000 limits. Other programs have $500,000 limits. Whatever that limit is, that's great, and it may suit the need and the purpose for an individual who wants that. But for somebody who receives SSI benefits, government benefits, if you go over $100,000 balance, you're going to compromise your benefits. And some benefits such as SSI income will be suspended. So you have to be careful. So that's why it's important to be aware, even though this is an account that is meant to help an individual with special needs save without impacting their benefits, that only holds true up until $100,000 or $99.99. Okay. What does it take to open up an account? It takes $25 to open up an account, and you could do that online by calling them, by mailing them, and they do have an option for you to have a debit card, which I always think is nice. You could also use checks. This could help individuals if it makes sense, and this works for you who want to work on that skill, that life skill of managing money. Again, it's not for everybody. There are different individuals on the spectrum of whatever needs that you have, but there are abilities, and we are sharpening the saw in whatever realm we're at, and this is something that could benefit those individuals who are looking for that. Regarding fees, so there are two types of fees. One fee is, what does it cost to manage the funds themselves, the investment themselves, and what does it cost to actually have this account? They refer to that mostly as a maintenance fee. So there is a 0.34 to 0.38% of a percent, which in order to manage the investments, and then it costs $15 a quarter to manage the account. So that would be $60 a year. However, if you choose, if you opt for the digital delivery of statements, then you automatically get a $3.75 credit per quarter. So essentially, you would be saving, some money every quarter just by choosing that option. So who is eligible? They're going to the actual eligibility of an ABLE account. We're not going to get into that. You must recertify annually. Okay, that's for somebody who does meet the criteria, but that is only meant for temporarily. So, for example, you have to be 26. The significant disability has to be part of the individual's life before the age of 26, and it has to be a significant disability. So let's say somebody got into an accident or had some medical episode, and that happened at age 23. But these types of medical conditions may change dramatically after 5 years. So by age 28, that may change. So for 23, 24, 25, 26 to 28, that would work. Probably thereafter, they would need to get recertified if their situation, to see if the situation is valid in the sense if they're still considered significantly disabled to meet this criteria. Okay. Okay, so here we have the qualified disability expenses. These are the types of ways that you could spend the money from an ABLE account. Now, why did I say qualified disability expenses? Because there is an expectation, and the expectation is that the funds are going to go to benefit an individual with special needs and improve the quality of this individual's life. So, for example, if we're gonna use the example of education, right? So let's say there's extra training that the individual needs, and that isn't being covered by the agency or family or what have you. You could utilize this ABLE account money and pay for that, and that would be appropriate. We do offer a free report. You can look below. We do have resources below this video for you, and among them, among those resources is a free report to better understand what the qualified disability expenses are all about. And excuse me, we're going to jump into the questions. Do I have to prove eligibility? There are those who, as part of the application process, you may learn that you need to provide a doctor-signed diagnosis. We do have a sample, again, as part of our resource guide. So you could utilize that as a model in order to put together your own letter and use that to provide to your doctor, and then give that into the SSA, the Social Security Administration. Okay. Not to the SSA, but to the government, to the state agency that is managing the ABLE account. I stand corrected. I wanted to just make sure that that was clear. Each individual state manages their ABLE plan. So if you would have to show some sort of eligibility, that would be to the state. Do I have to prove that withdrawals are qualified disability expenses? Today, you don't. It is a good idea for you to keep an account of that. What is the date that this expense is going out? How much is that for? Who's it going to? And the purpose. We do have an Excel spreadsheet, again, in our resource guide right below. You can click that and get access to our resource guide. That will be there for you to use as you wish. Again, you're not going to necessarily be showing it to anybody at this time, but if you're called on it, you'll have a record of it, and then B, at some time in the future, I assume that some of the states are going to start randomly requesting. I don't have any information. This is just something that I'm making an assumption, but it's best practice to keep a record of that. Can I have more than one Montana ABLE account? The answer is no way. In fact, you can have more than any of the ABLE accounts. You could only have one. So to use the example, if let's say there's a young man, let's call him Scott, and Scott has 4 grandparents, and each grandparent has their own 529 college savings account that they plan on making available to Scott so he can go to college. Well, that's great for him. This is not, these are 4 accounts that are supporting Scott. Now, Scott's sister, Stephanie, who meets the criteria of having an ABLE account, she has an ABLE account, and there's only one account here. Those 4 grandparents may not have their own ABLE account. They would need to, 4 of them would need to support, or whoever it is, would be able to support Stephanie because Stephanie could only have one account. And how much can I contribute to my account? Let's just see. Whoopsie daisy. That wasn't good. I'm going to pause this so I can. So you can contribute up to $15,000 a year into this account. And the account balance limit for Montana is $396,000. But keep in mind that $100,000 limit that we referred to before. Can a friend and family make contributions to my account? Absolutely. What I recommend is that what I suggest is that, let's say, a month before the individual's birth date and a month before the holiday season, to send out a letter, send out an email to close friends and family members, letting them know, look, you may be considering so and so in your gifting, and you want to know what to get him or her. Um, this individual has a savings account, looking to grow these funds, and if you wanted to, you can make a contribution, and make sure to provide the address for the Montana plan, the name of the account holder, which would be the individual, and the account itself, so that they know where to send this to. Right? Very often people want to do something, but we don't make it easy for them. Make it easy for them. Give it to them. I know there are individuals that put together like a birthday card, or they send out, they attach a PDF to that, literally making it very user friendly, that all they have to do is take that, put a check in, or we do something online or whatever it is, but they have all the information at their fingertips. Okay, hold on. You can make systematic withdrawals to the bank listed on your account by mail, to your address, or to a third party. This is very good because there are individuals that rely on the funds that are in these accounts to pay for regular services, right? So let's say one wants to go to the gym, and there's a $50 a month gym membership. So that's something that can go out and be a systematic withdrawal to pay for the gym membership, right? It's going to pay for this individual's health club, and I was just met with somebody who needed to go swimming, wanted to improve his health, and swimming was the way to go. And this individual went and got a membership at a swim club, and now goes swimming regularly, which is really awesome. Okay. We're not going to go through that. Okay. Let's jump into the investment options. I'm not going to do forms now. Hopefully we'll get to forms in a couple of minutes. Okay. Investment options to fit your needs. So there's an FDIC insured checking option. Okay, this is FDIC insured up to $250,000. So for some reason you don't want to be quote unquote in the market, you can have that. You can have all or some of the funds in a checking account. There are 6 other options. There's aggressive all the way to conservative. I'm not going to click on each one, but we'll click on conservative just to get an idea of what is going on here. They let you know what the objective is, what the strategy is. Again, we're not here to comment on what is going into these funds or pass judgment or say yay or nay, this is a good one, this is a bad one, just making observations. Good idea to check out the plan disclosure statement. This is where you'll find all the details. It's rather long, so you don't necessarily need to read it. It's not a short brochure. But if you really want to understand the details of this plan, what goes into it, who's administering it, who is managing the funds, how are things working, this is where you're going to find all the details, okay? And that was that. Okay, so now let's go to the forms. Good. So what you're going to notice here is that a number of the things that you would want to take care of in enrolling and in managing this account may be done online, and some may be done via download. As you can see, that you have plenty of options to also manage things online with contributions, etc. But if you wanted to appoint, some sort of authorization, that would need to be downloaded and mailed in, etc. Because here we need a signature, right? So they're looking for, they need a signature, and that's what they're looking for. All right. contact Montana. Now, just to give you a heads up, they're not going to answer questions that have to do with your personal needs. Is this account good for me? Is this investment better than the other investment? They're not your financial advisor. They could tell you about the program. These are the options we have. This is the way it works. This is the process, but not necessarily answer the questions that have to do with whether it works for you or not. Here are the phone numbers. Here's the email address and the mailing address. Okay, so let's see. Takes up to 15 minutes for your future. Okay. So these are the different steps. What I like to do is just show you. Okay, so please don't contact me with that information. I just use that really to get you in the door. I don't complete this application. I think it's quite inappropriate to do a fake out. Just wanted to get you in the door so you see the process. There are 6 steps here about the individual. You know, what is a disability? What's your address? What's the phone number? What's your email, social, birth date? What are the funds you want to pick? And taking you through that, that is something that you can check out. And again, if you have any questions in general, you can leave a comment below. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Please share with other individuals, other families that may benefit, other agencies that may benefit. You could also email us at info at specialneedslifeplanning.com. We would love to know what things are on your mind, what things could we explore and look into for you. Again, we're not an expert in every part of the special needs life planning process, but our goal is to be a resource for you, to learn about something, to then write an article, to put together a video, to create a course, and to educate, get the word out. Love your feedback, love your questions, and thank you for spending some time with us today. Have an awesome, awesome day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot that you've spent the time with us. Just wanted to ask you if you could to please subscribe to our channel. It does help us. It means a lot to us. And if you are watching this on the blog, you wouldn't be able to subscribe, but you would be able to put in your email address and join the ABLE Report community. That means when we come out with information, when we come out with our ABLE reports, you would receive it. So please enter your email address if this is on the blog, or click subscribe on right below this video. Thanks so much. Until next time.